All right, let's just jump right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking something that is incredibly specific, but honestly fascinating. We're going to completely deconstruct the ultimate architectural blueprint for making a highly engaging 50-second tech review. Specifically, we're looking at a creative brief designed for the Noise Airwave 4 earbuds. You know when you find yourself just endlessly scrolling through tech videos, totally captivated? Well, you are about to see exactly how that psychological trap is built, literally second by second. So we're going to dissect this 50-second formula piece by piece. Our roadmap for today is pretty straightforward. First, the anatomy of a tech short. Second, the 3-second hook. Third, intro and key features. Fourth, weighing pros and cons. And finally, the verdict and the CTA. Let's get into it. Starting off with Section 1, the anatomy of a tech short. Let's look at the foundational rules for this kind of fast-paced content. Okay, so the absolute most crucial thing to understand here is that this brief sets some extremely rigid boundaries. Like, this isn't just a rambling general review. It's targeted laser specifically at budget tech buyers in India. And you've got to hit that target while staying under a strict 50-second limit. Every single word counts. The script has to be short, punchy, and real-friendly. But check out that last point, because it's super important. It says to add slight hype, but stay realistic. It's a masterclass in knowing your audience, right? Because budget buyers are looking for genuine value. And trust me, they can smell a fake, overhyped ad from a mile away. So pulling that off requires a very specific balancing act. The brief explicitly calls for a Gen Z style tone. But what does that actually mean in practice? Well, it means your delivery has to be energetic, casual, and just intensely relatable. You have to bring enough energy to keep people hooked, but stay grounded enough to feel completely authentic. It's like, imagine an enthusiastic friend showing you a cool new gadget they just bought, rather than a slick salesman reading off a brochure. That is the exact vibe you need to hit. And actually bringing that vibe to life, that takes 4 distinct production layers happening all at once. It is definitely not just someone talking to their phone camera. A successful tech short is literally a symphony. You've got your voiceover script driving the story. You've got on-screen text reinforcing the big ideas, for the people scrolling with their sound off. You have the shot ideas, meaning specific camera angles, dynamic B-roll, and snappy transitions to keep their eyes moving. And then, underlying the whole thing, you have the background music vibe setting the emotional tone. All 4 layers have to work together perfectly. Moving right along to Section 2, the 3-second hook. This is all about stopping the scroll, which is hands down the most critical part of the whole process. When you look at how the time is divided, it is completely ruthless. You have absolutely 0 time to waste here. That initial 0 to 3-second window, that's where the entire battle for the viewer's attention takes place. If you lose them there, the remaining 47 seconds literally do not matter because they've already swiped away. Because of that, the blueprint explicitly demands an attention-grabbing line right out of the gate. You have 3 seconds to jolt someone out of their scrolling trance. You basically have to present a problem, maybe a surprising fact, or drop a bold claim about these Noise Airwave 4 earbuds that makes them stop and think, wait, okay, I actually need to hear the rest of this. Okay, Section 3, intro and key features. Once you've successfully hooked them, the clock is seriously ticking to deliver actual value. 4, you have exactly 4 seconds. From second 3 to second 7, that is your entire window to drop a quick intro before pivoting straight into the hardware itself. You can't meander around, you definitely can't introduce yourself at length. It's a 4-second bridge from your snappy hook right into the meat of the review. And right in the middle of this timeline, you have to rapid fire through 4 specific key features for the Noise Airwave 4. The brief does not leave this up to chance. You must cover sound quality, battery life, design, and connectivity. And honestly, why these 4? Well, for a budget tech buyer in India, these are the absolute make or break pillars. They need to know right now, does it sound good? Will it survive my commute? Does it look cool? And is it actually going to stay connected to my phone? You are delivering insanely high-density information in a matter of seconds. Which brings us to Section 4, weighing pros and cons. Because let's be real, just blindly listing features isn't going to build any trust with a skeptical Gen Z audience. The prompt dictates that you must weigh the pros and cons, and it specifically demands an honest opinion. You simply can't just list all the good stuff. To keep that realistic, relatable vibe we talked about earlier, you have to point out a flaw. Maybe the plastic case feels a little cheap, or maybe the bass is just way too heavy out of the box. By highlighting a real con, you actually validate your pros. It proves to the viewer that you aren't just reciting a brand's marketing copy, but actually evaluating the product for them. Finally, Section 5, verdict and the CTA.
We are rapidly hitting that 50-second limit, so it's time to close the loop and drive some action.
The rules require a definitive final verdict on the earbuds, immediately followed by a strong call to action. You've given them the specs, you've shared your honest pros and cons, and now you have to tell them exactly what to do next. Is it a buy? Is it a hard pass? You've got to be decisive. And this mandated quote from the brief perfectly nails how to do it. Worth it or skip. Follow for more honest reviews. It is so punchy. It subtly reinforces that honest tone we've been building up for the past 45 seconds, and it tells them exactly what to do. It gets them into the comments by asking worth it or skip, and it secures the follow by promising more of this exact same value next time. It's honestly wild just how much strategy, psychology, and structural engineering is packed into less than a single minute of video. Every second is accounted for. Every word is optimized. So it kind of leaves you wondering, right? How might applying these super rigid, highly disciplined structural rules completely transform your own presentations or content? Next time you find yourself entirely captivated by a quick explainer online, take a really close look. You might just see this exact blueprint hiding in plain sight.